Buenos nachos, amigos. It's Record Breakers time once again. It's been a week. Haven't changed shirts. It's magic. I'm Peter Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me is my team, my squad. We've got Brett.
Hey, hi.
We've got Drew.
Squad goals.
We've got Patrick.
Hi.
We're here gathered to talk about music. The provider of said music this week is none other than Patrick. Patrick, when will I stop saying none other?
None other than now.
And what music do you got for us this week?
So this week I brought a band called Consider the Source, who are self-described sci-fi Middle Eastern fusion, and their album That's What's Up.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. I'll start with Drew. Drew, well, what expectations did you have coming in this album?
Not many. I know it's sometimes a toss-up with me and Patrick as far as his music goes. So I was not expecting anything. I had never heard of this band before. The name didn't even tip me off of what they could possibly be. So I went into this expecting absolutely zero.
Mm-hmm. As I think that's going to be the truth for all of us. Brett, not to presume, but what were your expectations coming into this album?
Presume away, buddy. I had no fucking clue what I was getting into. I was expecting double bass drums and a whiny singer. Luckily, I didn't get a whiny singer. I didn't get like the nasal sound of the generation. No, I'd never heard of this stuff. I don't run in these kind of circles. I don't smoke the drugs. I don't know any of this stuff. But I was kind of shocked when I got deeper into it to be like, I did a Google search. I found out what this is. And the rabbit hole got deeper.
Yes, the rabbit hole got deep. I'd never heard of these people though. Though I think I got some bit of an expectation seeing that logo in the middle of their name. It was like, this might involve a certain substance, in a certain sense of being a hippie.
Are you talking about the drugs?
The drugs, the marijuanas. Versus that
the lamest of drugs on the market today.
Pseudo spirituality.
Like hire off a bottle of Aleve.
Patrick, how would you describe this album musically?
They describe it, like I said, sci-fi Middle Eastern fusion. So let's unpack that. Sci-fi, there's space sounds sometimes. Middle Eastern, there's a lot of weird microtonal stuff. And fusion, so it's a little bit jazz and a little bit progressive rock. Sort of the band it really revolves around the guitar player Gabriel Marin. He uses this, I'm going to get gear heady, but the gear is necessary to make the sounds he makes. He plays this crazy double neck. He had custom built. It's a 6-string fretted electric guitar and a 6-string fretless electric guitar, which is pretty rare in the world of people playing them. Both have full floating trems. Both have MIDI pickups. And he plays through a pile of effects. But really what makes the sound unique is he has taken, essentially he plays a bunch of Middle Eastern and East Asian instruments and uses sort of some of the techniques and skills and applies them to a guitar. Add to that bass player, John Ferrara, who's basically equal parts Vic Wooten and Les Claypool. And in the best ways possible.
Amen.
And the drums are, and I'm a drummer, and the drums are great on this record, but you're so overwhelmed with the guitars and bass. They do their job. They get out of the way. They play cool rhythms that match the feel of the music, and they're played well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have you know.
Yes.
I know Vic Wooten. Vic Wooten was a friend of mine. He is no Vic Wooten.
They opened for Vic.
Yeah, I know. I read that too.
Yes. We all read the Wikipedia article. Drew, how would you describe this album musically? What would be some of the themes and elements?
Well, I'm going to start out with a little story. And that story, like I said,
all about how your world got flip turned upside down?
Turned upside down, indeed. No, with Patrick, like I said, it's sort of a toss up sometimes. I think he's about a 500, 50-50.
You're very generous, Drew.
I might smack talk some of the things you've brought in, but overall, it's usually a coin flip with how I think about your music. So, because sometimes it's great, sometimes it's real bad, sometimes it's in between. I looked at the album and I got scared. I was like, ooh, there's 10-minute songs in here. Ooh, this could go down a bad path. But, the musicianship was really top notch from beginning to end. The composition was really well pieced together. You had that with Petey's record. You had the production being something that was really of note. The fidelity and the production work, the studio work that went into it was really something of note. But with this one, I think the composition is really what was something of note. There was a lot of diversity in the sound that you were getting, and that was really great. And for a band to put together 7, 8, 9, 10-minute songs and have it be so sonically diverse, but pieced together so well from song to song, I think that's really, really well done. They never let themselves get defined by a genre. They really bounced around, and I think that's cool. It shows good musicianship when you can do that and pull it off pretty well. This type of style to me, like this sort of proggy mix of stuff, can really live and die by the rhythm section. And god dang it, I was trying not to focus on that, and then that stupid face, Brett. For those who don't watch the video, it might be worth it to turn on the YouTube video and fast forward to this marker and check that out. But going back into it, it can really live or die by the rhythm section, and I think the rhythm section really holds together well. I hear what Patrick is saying about the parts of Victor Wooten and the parts of Les Claypool that come into here. Do I think he's as good? No.
You don't think anyone is as good as Vic Wooten, though?
Because they aren't.
And it's true. I'm not saying he's as good. I'm saying stylistically, there's very much a cross between Les Claypool and Vic Wooten.
Stylistically, I will give you that. And he was a great bass player. I put down a good drummer will never miss the beat. A great drummer can stay on the beat and change styles mid-song. And they did that multiple times here, and I think that was really cool. Yes, there is a lot of great guitar work and a lot of great melody work. What was sort of weird to me is I mentioned all that up front because compositionally I think they're great. At times, not all the time, but a couple of parts, it was really dense as far as the noise coming out. And that density, as far as like using that, I felt like it was almost covering up things that I would have liked to be a bit more open and work with more like empty space in the back where there was like maybe some noise coming through, some sonic noise coming through. I would have liked a little more empty space for like the guitar work to work or the bass work to work around in. But that didn't happen often. It happened a couple of times, and it sort of was that thing of like, oh well, if I could be in the studio and figure out what they were trying to do with that, I would have liked to know. It didn't hit me in the right way, but there was a lot of varied instrumentation, and that can always make me happy. So,
Brett, well, how would you describe this musically? What would be the theme song that caught your attention?
Well, it's a proggy jam band as all get out. It has jam band itis, which is 10-minute songs. There are things that happen in this album. The crowd participation is something you can't get away with or away from. There's the things move, things go. Like when it comes to this genre, but 15 years older, it takes a lot for me to be super impressed with a lot of like, I don't know. I've been around the block. I'm a worn out old fucking JJ that's been wallered out by a million bands. And it takes something to satisfy this sour old tart. But you know, they're
down the hallway.
That's right. The feeding a tic tac to a whale. But you know, this is one of those things where you go into it once you play the first track, you kind of know what's going on. You're like, oh, so this is that kind of music that I'm listening to today. There's definite tight grooves. There's every track has different movements. The instrumentation is obviously level. I mean, these people could probably play a 2-5-1 with the best of them. They choose to play their crazy rock and roll music that they're breaking new ground, which I got to tip the hat to anybody that wants to do something different, because there isn't a whole lot of things out there that are different. This shit is different. The instrumentation using fretless, they don't need no frets. Chuck that shit right out. There are some noises that are made.
Fret free is the way to be.
That's right.
I can't do that.
Two pieces of wire in between where you press your finger. Holy crap, you cannot make those noises. And also, they got to have, there were some, I would enjoy looking at the kind of nasty mess that those pedal boards are, because some of the things that were getting pulled out they were different. I wouldn't say they were sweet to my ear, but they were different. And, the use of synth in the form of a git fiddle is something that I enjoy just for shits and grins. In execution, I'll bring that up later. But there's definitely some of that. They also have the Eastern jive that they put in there. There's a bunch of like Eastern sounds, which normally like rubs me the wrong way when people throw that in and they decide they want to world up their music. But they normally do it much poorer than this band does. There's nothing that like, let me throw a throat singer in here and somebody who kind of knows how to play a sitar. That doesn't do it for me. But there's definitely some things going on in this album that are worth noting. But
I think
it got weird.
I think the part that does it well there when they like switch up into that Middle Eastern stuff is it really seems more bolstered by the drums and not so much the, hey, let's throw a sitar in here so that we can seem like we know things about the rest of the world.
Weird cymbals and sitar are not a way to get me to love you. The drums, I mean, drums are universal. They are drums without borders. There's no code. Hitting shit with sticks. Come on, or your hands.
Or your hands. I was going to say, there's a lot of hands.
If you're a caveman and you want to hit things with your hands,
Or you're
a caveman.
Like the bongos.
Petey,
I was going to say like Tito Puente, but he used sticks.
It's because he played bongos, he played timbale.
Yeah, he played timbale.
When I think of bongos, I think of
let me bring another culture.
Yeah.
Let me bring another culture, but I got it all wrong in my head.
There's an alternate universe where Petey is the world's greatest hand percussionist of South Florida.
I could play mean cowbell.
Well, you know what? That's
which
that's
in Spanish music
there.
has a little bit more to it. I will say, and I can do fine. There's a little bit more than dun dun dun. There's a little, which when it comes back around to me, we're actually going to experience some cowbell in that way.
So Spanish music is a little more cowbell and a little less fearing the Reaper, is what you're telling me?
Yes. Well, it's a little bit more.
Stainless steel.
Let's just say they hit both. They hit more than one spot of the cowbell.
Oh, look at that
cowbell rim shot.
It's
well, because I don't know if you hit. I don't know if you know this, but you can actually hit different parts of it and get really cool different sounds.
It'll go dunk, or it'll go dunk, or it'll go dunk.
And that actually is.
Or it'll go badonk-a-donk.
2 episodes from now, we'll talk about it, or 3. I don't remember how.
Do I need to like go unhook my cowbell for my drum kit? Is that what you're saying?
No, there's no. That is the one gizmo gadget weird noise toy that I do not approve of. Yes. You can get like, bells. You could have clacker. You could have vibra slap. You could have anything. Cowbell.
Yeah, badmouth the Blue Oyster Cult right now.
Well, I could badmouth.
Also, technically, that wasn't a cowbell, but That's neither here. nor-
It was like a.
It was actually the in the
Woodblock.
original song. Well, okay. That being said, that it was
This was
I-
a claw vase.
Yes.
it was the wooden block. It was actually
wood
Yes. It was.
Wood block.
That's
not to
yeah.
kill
Is it
the
square or round?
gem. I thought it had a special name. I forgot. All right. That being said, let's move on.
I love you, Petey talks music. Let's get with the biggest gearhead in the room, Petey.
Percussion break.
It's
That's
the
right.
it's the
Like,
wooden block thing.
Culturally,
What's it called?
I
Wood block.
will say yes, Petey. You're right. When it comes to percussion instruments, you've probably seen them all.
I just don't know the names. That being said, moving on. Where are we? What are we doing? What podcast is this?
So Korean pop culture.
That's right. So how's that rap work?
Yes. I think we're bringing it back around the horn for our final thoughts. Did we all do?
We didn't even do tracks.
Oh, no.
We didn't check.
We didn't do
Track time,
tracks.
Petey.
Damn it! I am not
Rewind.
drunk. Yes. All right.
No, we went
Some
off on a
feedback.
tangent.
Yes.
Wow,
broke me.
we've only been doing this for over 100 episodes.
113 episodes and whatnot.
The thing is, this is what this. I like this. We need to go off on tangents and make Petey lose his spot more often because I think
Yeah.
it's great.
like the
Notes
part
are all
where I
jump-
forgot to say that we were what the next episode was.
No, that didn't happen. You said it. It was in the other episode. We heard it.
Okay, yes, sir. That's true.
I'll see.
But yeah, tracks. Patrick, what would be some of the key tracks for you? What would we would point out to?
I'll do the record breakers thing. Abdiel. I don't know how to say it. I'm not that smart or worldly, but it's the opening track. It's actually a cover, and I went and listened to the original, and it's fucking crazy. But basically, this is you get an idea of what these guys do. They have a distinct sound. It is unique and interesting. You get a fretless guitar, unlike a fretted guitar, which plays in a chromatic scale, which is what you're used to in the majority of Western music. With a fretless guitar, you can play stuff in between those notes, and add to that the fact that the guy has traveled much of the Middle East and learned how to play many traditional instruments, has learned some of the hand technique that they use to get the crazy microtonal sounds out of those, and then took it back and threw it on a guitar because rock and roll and shit. But there's a bass solo in it that is so Les Claypool, and I am a big Les Claypool fan. That it was very delightful to hear bass get the shit kicked out of it. And then a song which doesn't have a title, so I'm going to call it Open Paren, Vertical Line, Close Paren, because that's, as best I can tell, it's the fifth
Or-
track on it.
It's a butt.
Or it's a butt. They're dorks. It might just be a butt.
In Google Music, it showed it as like ellipses. So
But
Yeah.
that's what I saw it as
Yeah.
as well.
So this to me, this is kind of my favorite thing I've heard in forever. This was a track that introduced me. Of my brother, the guitar nerd, played it in the car one time. I'm like, holy fucking shit, what is this? And I don't say that a lot. I like music and I enjoy stuff, but very rarely am I like, what the fuck is this and where can I get it? Because it's jazz is very rarely catchy, but the melody in this is catchy as fuck.
Oh, hey, hold on a damn minute. I get a kick out of you. Yeah, there's catchy music. out
I
there.
know, but like traditional,
Standards
standards.
are nothing but catchy.
yeah. No, they just have a thing they come back to.
But no, there's
It's solo.
I'm going to toot and horn for 20 minutes in one breath, playing all the notes. I
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah.
I know what you're
Yeah.
saying.
But
Kenny G.
Hey,
Or
I-
one note for a
the-
world record.
Do not defend Kenny G.
No, it's the Mike Birbiglia joke where it's like he's into the dooba doomba 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 jazz, but he's not into the jazz. Where it's there's jazz is a genre just like rock and roll.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad rock and roll.
yeah.
Jazz is a genre just like
Glassjaw. We went up.
just like folk.
No, folk is not a genre. It was
is
the
it?
music of the people when there was nothing but classical,
Exactly.
and then Art Garfunkel and Paul.
And then-
yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying. Jazz
I like
is
Paul Simon.
Jazz is big.
Yeah, Jazz is Art Garfunkel.
No, jazz is big. It's big. It's popular music. All right, but yeah.
Wrapping this up. Final thoughts, Drew.
Drew, what would be some of the key tracks for you?
All right. We're also gonna go.
This
with
album
the
is
song.
almost as disjointed as this album. I mean, this episode is almost as disjointed as this album.
That sentence was almost as disjointed as this album. Jesus.
God damn.
This is gonna be one. This is one of my favorite record breaks. I'm now gonna suggest this episode along with Curly's to people who wonder what our.
We're done. This is it.
It's about-
Usually my loopiness is I could attribute it to the fact that I leave work an hour before we're supposed to sit down and record. I had the day off
Been
today.
here for hours.
I had the day off today. I was fully rested. There's no loopiness. This is me.
I'm pizza drunk.
Makes for a better show. I love this. I'm honest. Love it. We need to do more of this. Abdiel. Oh, we're gonna do the record breakers thing. Starting with a 7-minute song is a bold strategy. It is a bold strategy, and I think it pays off. Pays off pretty well in my opinion. It's that thing. Let me know what your band is in the first full song. Let me know. I get wailing guitar. I get varied instrumentation. I get some awesome bass stuff. It lets me know right off the bat, hey, guess what? There's going to be some weird soundscapey prog shit. Buckle the hell up. And you know what? Cool. Buckled. Got it. Understand where I'm going. No easy answer. For some reason, like the underlying guitar in this, like especially the beginning, felt very spy movie-esque to me. I don't know why that happened. I got that vibe and I dig it. Anytime that like weird music, jazz music, rock music can make me feel like I'm a spy, I'm okay with that. Driving along in my car at night after I get off of work feeling like James Bond, I hold with it, bub. And then complex. Specifically, the last like 2.5 minutes of complex. Like at the 6-minute mark, this song becomes absolutely crazy, weird, dense awesomeness for some reason. And then like immediately drops off. Like in the last like 20 and like does that weird soundscapey stuff again. And I liked it. A whole lot. It was just cool. It was a fun way to end that song. Because up until that point, it wasn't as dense. And then like it hits you with like whoosh. And it was like, okay, cool. Yeah. I dig it.
I dig it. Brett, did you dig it? What tracks did you dig?
No, I can't hold with that. Okay, first things first. The first instrument you hear is a lady screaming in the crowd. And that woman screams in the crowd like anytime there's dead sound, which is not very often. But when it's there's that woman making the same yell. Like, holy crap. So immediately I'm like, oh, they're recording this in front of a live studio audience. But all right, let's get into specifics. How am I not myself? I really did enjoy the groove on this. The fake organ is pretty awesome. This is one of those songs that you listen to more jam band-itis, where you wonder if you require drugs to fully enjoy what the music is trying to get across. This is where the squeals, the noises that you cannot make with one of them things behind my shoulder. I can't make a noise like what was coming out. It was almost like somebody was tuning in their ham radio while kicking a reverb tank. That along with the crowd noise was a bit grating, I would say, but it was great musicianship. It was god awful, but it was god awfully done well. Yeah. And then it's because these songs are the size of like 5 songs each, and I'm the fan of the 20-minute opening track. The song that came out to me on as Ellipses, there was some sweet picking that was done at the 7-minute mark that was pretty fun. And the like shortly thereafter, they just killed everything, and they let it bass up for a minute, and the bass did some bass stuff, which it was really great because it gave my ears a rest from like the wall of screaming hot fire from the upper ranges of that guitar. The squeaks were a little much. I enjoyed them, but they hurt a little bit. Like I really enjoyed how they worked the wall of sound, because everybody, it's like an everyone solo all the time. But the fact that they like stopped and collaborated and listened to the bassist was something that really
That's bassist.
It is bassist. And you know what? I'm sorry, Drew's in the room. I don't want to. I can't talk like that. I have to go to post-show the show.
Yes.
Oh God, do we need to buy another?
No, already
No.
It's too late. Somebody's already bought it.
No. I'm not buying
Squiggles
more
bought it.
domains.
It's this competing podcast.
Yes.
Squiggles Breakers.
Except post-show of the show is just us describing why we need to leave right now. And then
Yeah, I gotta pee.
like, I gotta pee. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to walk tomorrow. See you guys. And then it's me and Drew just talking about something.
Mhm.
I think this is the point, Petey,
Yes.
that you've been waiting for.
Yes, where we bring it back around the horn, like I'm the stat boy, getting his own TV show finally. Bring it back around the horn for our conclusive thoughts. Drew, what would be your conclusive thoughts about this album?
It was really weird. This is not a band that I would suggest to everybody. It's not a band I would suggest to many people. But the few people that I think might get it. This is a record that is never going to see wide play. And it's not because it's necessarily bad at what it does. It does what it wants to do, and it does it well. It's a very musically dense record. It is very sonically dense. Most people do not have the ears to want to sit down and listen to a sonically dense record. I think there is music that is made. There's a Venn diagram, right, of music that's made for musicians and music that's made for most people. And in the middle, there's some groups that I think are sort of straddling the line of I can suggest them to wide people, but musicians will also find the gold, the nuggets of awesomeness that is in them, their hills, as Brett would say.
How many drugs is this person doing on a regular basis? Let's put this in their hands.
Well, yes, that would also be a factor, but I think like there are bands that cross that divide. On the way far side of the musician's diagram is this band. I think music-wise they are great. The one thing I can say about this band, if it says anything of what this band is, when I am reading or like studying up on things, if I want to sit and like focus on the thing that I am doing, right? And the thing that I'm doing is like learning something. I put on music without lyrics. I think for me, it's the best way to do it. I have some of Brian Altano's stuff in there. I have some like big giant circles in there. I have a lot of techno, a lot of electronic. I also have some like jazz stuff in there. And I have some Outrun stuff, some like really weird 80s like synthy. Like I don't know if anybody here listens to Outrun, but that I have some of that too. And this is going to fit in there. It obviously, as the things I have listed are very musically diverse. This is sort of weird and it doesn't exactly fit with everything else in there, but it works for what I need it to work for in that avenue. And I think that's, if that means anything to anybody, maybe give this a shot so at least you understand the craziness that we just listened to. It's weird.
Yes. Brett, what would be your conclusive thoughts on the album?
Well, this is an album for somebody that has a mature musical palette. Like this is taking a rip from the diggity dank. This is some rough shit if you don't know what you're getting in. This could be, noise to the uninitiated, or to me sometimes it was kind of noisy. But if you want to take a trip down some less common musical paths, this is an album to go down. There might be something for you to enjoy here. I wasn't mad at this album. I don't even know if I like this album. This is like this is complicated. It's like I just don't know if I'm having a relationship with this album or not.
Exactly.
They're like
you're not
little
Facebook official with this album just yet.
Yeah, there's nuggets in there. Like, Jesus, there's some nuggets in there that are really cool. But like, I kind of just wish that they'd release an album of each instrument separately, and then I could like piece them together like glue Lego bricks of music. But no, they made the album they wanted in front of some people that yelled "woo" a bunch, but didn't do it consistently. It was just like, oh wait, they're quiet right now. Let me yell "woo" so I can totally miss what they're going to play next. And it was kind of ridiculous. But again, if you don't have to like this album to sit down and listen to it and be like, well, that was the thing. But if it melts your brain, you feel free to quit. But it's on the level of, it's because there's no words to tell you what's going on. It's just this sonic mess of noise that is not noise. It's music. There's music in there. It's just you got to have the map and the compass and possibly a boomerang to figure out what's going on in there. Mm-hmm. So tread lightly.
Yeah, it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
It's a Petey's fist.
Old
you.
Reference that's been overused. Patrick, what would be your conclusive thoughts on the album?
This is unique music, and it doesn't sound like kind of anything else. And you can hear its influences. There's some King Crimson, there's some Mahavishnu Orchestra going on. But the guitar playing is so genuinely unique, and I because of his background and how long he's been doing this, I don't think anyone else can play a guitar like this right now. People will figure it out, but
no, he's the one. Nobody else can play it, nor should they. Just close the book on it. That's a weird when you mess with the intervals of a guitar. There's a reason why the church doesn't like tritones. It's
the devil.
It's the devil.
And I'm like here like no, just go like grab a guitar and just fucking plier out the frets and have some fun. I like it. I think it's totally unique and fun.
And fretless guitars are the devil.
It is neater than shit. It really is.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones. I want to know what Squiggles thinks, because Squiggles is a guitar player, and Squiggles will appreciate the insanity that is going on here. Here's the thing. So Squiggles is a guitar player. Squiggles also likes hippie jam music, or at least Grateful Dead.
60s. They weren't back then.
He's very fond of jam music, but he's very fond of a specific
the size
jam
of a
music.
room.
So you could rub against his standards. He has high standards.
Hold on. I'm going to extend my virtual hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put $50 on it right now. He's not going to dig it.
I don't think he will. I'm
that's
curious.
a winning bet right there.
I'm just curious.
Mitsula will have to give us the odds. First,
I'm curious to his thoughts, because it's like this guy among guitar players is really, really well liked, because he doesn't just sound like somebody trying to sound like Steve Vai, which is what a lot of guitar players over the last 30 years.
Steve Vai's really good, though.
No, Steve Vai does the Steve Vai thing. He is very talented, but he is tasteless.
Hey.
And
This is not
And-
Steve Vibreakers.
Yeah, I like Steve Vai sometimes, but like he does a thing, and
He's the
everyone
closest
sounds
to
like
jump
that.
splits as we're gonna get out of a man of his age.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I like that someone is trying to do something with a guitar other than how many notes can I cram into the next 8 bars.
But does his guitar have a handle on it?
I don't believe it has a monkey grip.
Yeah.
So
God, Steve Vai is
points
cool.
to Steve Vai on that one.
Thank you for making 7-string guitars widely available, Steve Vai.
There you
Should've
go.
been a-
Which is wonderful. But yeah, that brings us to the end of our conclusive thoughts. Now we get to wrap things up in a poetic form with our main event of the evening, which is our haiku review. Our haiku reviews. We're gonna get down to it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna start with Brett. What is your haiku?
Who needs any frets? These guys sure don't need that shit. With 10-minute songs.
Mm-hmm.
Take that to the bank.
Yeah. Drew, what is your haiku?
Can be a hit, or it could be utter trash. But it was a hit.
Mm-hmm. My haiku. Experimental. Does a lot of wacky things. Some of it is cool.
Agreed. Some of it is awesome.
Agreed, actually.
Unfortunately,
No, Petey-
awesome is two
Petey
syllables.
wins.
So.
I was
Oh wait, some of it's awesome. Never mind. Let's not go back. Patrick, what is your haiku?
A sonic journey from the Earth to outer space. A music nerd's dream.
And that brings us to the end of our thoughts on Consider the Sources. That's what's up. That's what was up with our thoughts. And now what is up next week? The man with the answer to that is Brett. Brett, what's up next week?
The beans have been spilled to everyone but the man from Ohio. So, and the listeners at home. You thought this was fucking weird. We got a treat for you next week. We're gonna go to a town called Akron, Ohio. Look at them perk up. It's a duo that had some hits. Well, a hit and a kind of hit in the 80s. We're gonna go track back to the 80s to the seminal hits by Buckner and Garcia and their album Pac-Man Fever. So
Yes.
everybody prepare to do the Donkey Kong.
Yes, we will do just that.
God, I got so scared that you were going to say the Black Keys. Somebody hold me.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that to you.
Are they your fault, Drew?
A duo
No,
with one.
You said Akron and duo. I was like, fuck. I'm going to have to be mad for an entire week.
No, you're
Damn
gonna
it.
be happy because you're gonna
Oh.
find out a new song to play at the bar when people are playing like Nickelback, and you do the play next, and everybody is gonna do the Donkey Kong. So yes,
I'm
prepare yourself,
cool with
everybody, and
Yeah.
just remember we're doing the original playlist, not the one that has a song about Bill Clinton. So
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing the original. So stop playing once you reach. What was it? Once you reach, go on Berserk.
Yes.
Stop playing. It's done. Or actually, stop playing and then start over again. 'Cause
yeah, a bunch.
want
You won't stop. I guarantee you.
Once
You will
you
not
pop.
listen to this album one time.
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Right.
But that's it for Record Breakers this week. You can, of course, find all this on the Record Breakers The Home Game on our Spotify playlist. Keep track, follow along with us at home. You can, of course, find us all over the internet. Patrick is at The Swagger. Brett is at HibbityBibbard, HIBBITYBIBBARD. Drew is at XJuciferX. I'm at PD Rave. It's good that I tell you now because we no longer have our Twitter handles on the screen anymore because it's already busy enough as it is.
Our producer is tired.
Yeah. RecordBreakersPodcast.com, RecordBreakersPodcast@gmail.com. The Twitter is 4RecordBreakers. That's the number 4RecordBreakers. YouTube.
Like the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm Arn. I think Patrick's Tully Blanchard.
Woo!
Drew is Ric Flair. And Brett's Oli.
Okay. The lineup has changed, but we're good.
You know what? We switch it up every once in a while.
I'm
But that's
Face Man. You're Mr. T.
yes.
Yeah.
We can combo it up later on. But that's it for us. Until next time. Hasta los huevos.
Toodaloo. Do the Donkey Kong.
I really am not drunk.
Just seems that way from here.